What is up, YouTube? This is your girl, Killer Rose. Sorry, my camera's, it's like moving a whole lot. It's probably my hands, but here, let me just... Okay, so yesterday was a bit of a doozy. I did went to the gym yesterday. However, my mom dropped me off because for whatever reason, she wanted to go to the store and just, browse. So I didn't have the car to myself, which I'm currently in, and basically I just worked out. I was upset because I wanted to do my thing, which is get on here and just talk about some stuff, just getting stuff out of my chest, especially going to a workout and just trying to conquer it. And it was so weird. Okay, have you ever had that feeling of you being watched and you don't want to be rude and trying to glance over to see if someone is watching you, but with my like I don't know how you call it, okay, but I know exactly, like I have like two sides of my eyes, okay? You know how you can just glance over to your mirrors, right? And that's how I see myself basically when I'm walking. I have a lot of awareness of where I'm going. Sometimes I need to remind myself that people are actually walking towards me, right? So yeah, so sometimes I make mistakes like that when I bump into them, or I almost like, we had to like, trying to like go to our left and our right and trying to move past each other. Sometimes that happens, right? But no, I had this feeling that some lady was looking at me, and it was not bothering me, but I'm like, okay, something is up. I'm not sure why I have this conclusion of someone is watching me. That's like, a lot of paranoia right there. And so it's like, you know what, I'm just gonna ignore it. Some people just happen to look at you, and that's it. You can't yeah, you can confront them, but it's like, for me, I just don't. I don't confront them at all. And not in a condescending way. I'm just like what, like, why are you looking at me like that? Or like, why do you keep staring at me and glancing at me? There's gotta be something that's going on, because I need to know now. Like, do you know me from somewhere, or we haven't met before? What is it? And no, she basically what happened was I went on the treadmill. I was kicking some butt, okay? I had a lot of thoughts that was going through my mind on a loop, and so I'm like, I need to do this now, because I have so much pumped up energy that I just need to get this straight and squared out. And I was not scaring myself in a sense. Maybe I was, right? Because I would like look at things on X, Twitter, formerly as known as Twitter, right? And so I would look at these things, what people had to say from the left. I literally heard a guy saying that if you're an ICE agent, or if you support ICE, you should be in a camp and be sent to the gulag. And so I'm like, okay, so literally people like him want the actual Republicans or the conservatives to go in a camp that they're basically trying to point out against the Republicans and calling them a Nazis, when themselves have the Nazi ideology in hand. And then and then putting it out there that, yeah, we're gonna round these people up, and we're gonna, you know, make them believe that, yeah, the things that they think and say, those are actually Nazi ideologies, and they're, you know, they're racist because of, you know, speaking out of turn. And it's very bad having a religion that has conservative values that are basically brainwashing you, whitewashing they would call it. And it's so terrible, guys. It's not even funny. Sometimes I try to like make sense of it, but I'm like, these things are so crazy. It really does sound like it would be true to them, and it might be stupid to us, but the things that they do believe, they believe it like genuinely, like they think it's actual based on facts, and they cannot seem to basically back the opinions or facts that they claim that's to be true. And then when they lose argument, they either have to say a slur about you being a Nazi and a fascist, that, you know, you don't have the college credentials to even talk to them. Supposedly you can make your own degree, which is so stupid. I think when I'm 80 years old, guys, I'm gonna be going to college. I really think if we actually make it out alive, I'm gonna go to college as an old lady, and I'm gonna explain the effects on radicalism. That would have been nice if I was a, you know, I don't know, either a professor or something, and I would basically give like concrete evidence on shocking everybody that's like very young. You're talking about, you know, having people that are, well, sometimes, you know, it doesn't, you know, age is not a discrimination. You can be young and still go to college. You can actually be a teenager and go to college. But anyways, no, it was, that's just a dream. That's a dream. That's a whole another rant. Okay, so forget about it. So no, it was so crazy. I was like, holy crap, is this guy serious about rounding people up, putting them in a camp, and basically kill them all, and just not even put them in graves, probably just put them in, you know, the bodies into piles and burn them or something, because this guy was absolutely crazy. It was so disgusting to see. And I was like, you know what, if I was gonna put myself in a position where, you know, already people are struggling in New York, but we told them, I tried to tell them, hey, do not vote for this guy. Why would you want to vote for someone who never worked in their entire life? Not even once. Like, I can guarantee you, like, you don't have to know right ahead. You could be part-time and work at least like 5 hours. Okay, I've done that. Okay, I'm gonna say it. It was TJ Maxx and Home Goods. Okay, and it was okay. It was fine. No, it wasn't, but it was all right. It was the experience that mattered. And I was like, I don't understand how people can deal with people. Okay, I'm never the type of person that can actually be calm with people. You know, like, I don't know. It is so weird. When you work at a warehouse, you don't normally have to deal with anyone but yourself, unless you like to make friends on the side. But sometimes it really depends on where it's at, what kind of vibe it is. If they're cool people, they're gonna be cool people, and that's just the way that it goes. But if they're like causing drama that can just piss you off because you know for a fact it feels like high school all over again, yes, you will get those type of vibes. But this guy has not worked at least 1 to 5 hours, okay? Has not worked a single job, and yet people still vote for him to be a mayor in New York City. To think, oh, socialism. I mean, you could free this, you could free that. Yeah. We know from history that it's not going to work out. No matter what you do, there is no bigger deal to take. I mean, seriously, like, you need to figure this out and say, holy shit. The Democrats, our parties, our leaders are not getting their jobs right. They're not getting it done. Why are they spending so much money on stupid stuff that we should have saved up and actually, like, take control of this debt and just squash it? Trillions of dollars being used. There's fraud. I mean, there's so many things. It's crazy. And then you can see piles of trash. The snow is not being plowed and safely taken to somewhere else, so that way the citizens in New York could actually have somewhere to walk to and not have to worry about stepping in shit. I'm sorry. I'm just putting it out there. Yes, you just watch where you're going, because it's gonna happen. There's trash everywhere. There's gonna be poop everywhere. And then you have snow that you need to climb over because it's not correctly plowed. And then they just throw the snow anywhere. Like, who are these people? Where did they come from? These people act like they're like first time on the job without any experience. And yes, guys, it's crazy, but it's true. And then it's so crazy how people are so far off, and they're more focused on teaching kids how to protest to then actually teach them how to do math and basic reading. I mean, like, what the hell is going on? For me, I would have said, time out. What is going on? Why are you doing, like if it was me, I would have sued the school. I would have. But this guy, you know, it was a viral video. He said that he cannot understand how they just took his son out of school to go and protest. And I guess this was in Washington State, and I can't remember what it's called, so I'm snapping my fingers because I'm trying to remember what he said. It was a bad neighborhood, and you shouldn't be in that circle. And it was insane. I felt bad for the dad, because imagine, it's not just him that's angry. There's gonna be other parents too. They're gonna be like, what? Like, my daughter, my son have gone to a protest right after they sent me the actual nail, and they haven't told me before. I didn't want to learn it prior. I actually want to know before they're going to take my kid to protest. They never told me that or I'm not saying me because I don't have children, but I'm just saying, for the parent, you have the right to be angry. You have the right to be upset. And for them to not tell you right ahead of time and say, hey, we're doing a group project, you know, I mean, it's so weird. I don't understand. For me, I just don't think children should be involved in general. I really don't. I really do not think so. It is so terrible at the finest. It made me so sick when they were like giving pre-K, like actual children, tiny tots, to actually put up signs and protest. Oh, guys, that made me so mad. I'm sorry. I have small cousins like that, and it just made my blood boil, okay? And I have so many small cousins like that they're tiny tots. They don't need to learn about protesting when they're like 4 years old or younger. Like, no, sorry. Protesting is for the big boys and big girls, okay? Sorry, guys. Freaking those lights, alright? But 7:51, you already know. My eyes are about to get dried up real soon, but yeah. Just really hard stuff, man. Really, just really terrible things that is going on. And yeah, with all that being said, because I went on a whole rant again, I decided if I was gonna be a person who is oppressed by socialism, because that's what it is. I am being oppressed because I do not want that crap. I don't. And the people who did not condemn it, I'm not gonna vote for you. I'm not. If I don't like a Republican and I say, well, this Democrat is better than the Republican, okay, you won. I'm thinking, of course, JD Vance all the way, okay? But when I see something, knowing for a fact that people, at least the Democratic Party, did not condemn socialism, makes me wonder, do they really care about the American people and how it can have a major effect on them? Oh, Rose, you're excluding the illegals. Oh, yeah. But there's millions of Americans that have not received the care that they need. There's countless of homeless people running in the streets, starving to death, freezing their buns off and dying because of freezing. And but they have OD. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The police would be there and say, hey, you need to get out of here. Just move along. They're gonna get there fast out of, as soon as they can. And sometimes they give them a hard time. The drugs are off the streets. There's so many things that New York could definitely do, a lot of things. But because of that man that's there, he doesn't care if you're struggling or not. He does not give a damn if you are struggling. If you have a crisis situation, you're not going to call the cops. You're going to call social workers. And what they're going to do, they're not going to do anything. And if this guy or this girl is violent, you will become a victim. I guarantee it. I'm sorry, New Yorkers. I'm so sorry that a lot of people are so ignorant these days. And yes, I really do condemn socialism because it can lead to communism. You're not going to get the fair pay that you want. You want higher pay. But the thing is, socialism does not guarantee that. In fact, it defeats the purpose of you getting paid and etc. People want socialism because they cannot stand the right speaking their minds. They hate the First Amendment. The Second Amendment, okay, it's already there, but it's not as proficient as the Second Amendment, okay? The First Amendment, that's what they have a problem. They call countless of people, the police on people who are trying to interview them. You have so many people that go onto properties that are supposed to be for the public, But yeah, they're considered private or a private event, but they call it a public event that everyone can attend and support. But because of asking questions, whether or not they believe a certain way about Donald Trump, it ends up becoming more of a bigger issue than it's not even a big of an issue. It's just a way of, having conversation. Like why don't you like about Donald Trump? Like, I can understand like the immigration, right? I felt scared. I was like, holy crap, dude. Like, I was like telling my mom, if we were in that position, I wanted to go to Canada. I thought Canada would have been a nice spot. But my mom told me Switzerland. It would have been nice there. But I saw, what was it? El Salvador? And I was like, man, seeing those videos, they're actually taking thugs, not hardcore criminals, not like the cartel, but actual, people who had done some wrong. They're gonna correct the ways that they used to live the life, and they're gonna be productive people in a community, in a country that they need to support. And they actually teach them life skills that they can learn and take. And that's crazy. So that's what I said, Canada. But I've looked at El Salvador, and I was like, okay, I can definitely go there, because imagine if it's a safe place there, and they're actually helping people getting better and trying to get them a job. That's actually very good than being on the streets, right? And I was like, I don't know where I'd be, but it's gotta be somewhere, because Mexico's all right, but I'm not feeling with that president, okay? I cannot stand that president calling us right wing, trying to like take the cartels down. You really do not give a crap about your people, do you? And it was so crazy. I was like, okay, that's the only one thing I did not like. But I was like, I still support you, Donald Trump. I still do. But it's just one of that. It was like a light shove. I was like, oh shoot, okay, I get it. It was a bluff. They basically to say, hey, you guys need to settle down. And I don't know. That's just my opinion, guys. It's 7:59. I know this is a long video, but yeah, I conquered the treadmill. I conquered it. I ran so fast and hard, and say, if socialism was today, I would or if socialism was here right now, or at least soon, rather than later, right? I'm just saying. I'm not saying that it's gonna come, but I'm saying is that Jesus, dude, with the bright lights on, okay? So what I was saying is that I was working hard. I would continue to work hard. I'm trying to continue to actually push through the limit, because I need this fat taken off, dude. I'm like, if I was gonna die today, I might as well die as hot, okay? Holy shoot, is it dusty? I think it is. It looks like it's dusty. Looks like it's a dust on here. But okay. I'll see you guys in a bit, okay? Peace.